Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Let's be real. Our world is in a state of constant, unpredictable change. It's a lot. So how do the organizations we all depend on actually navigate this chaos? Well, the answer isn't just about surviving anymore. It's about learning how to thrive in it. And today, we're going to break down the framework for doing exactly that.
You know, the one thing we can always count on is change. But it's not just every now and then anymore, is it? It feels relentless, like it's coming at us from all angles. And in this kind of environment, adapting has gone from being, a nice-to-have skill to being absolutely essential for survival.
Just think about it for a second. Our world is so incredibly interconnected now. A supply chain hiccup on one side of the planet can mean your favorite product is suddenly out of stock tomorrow. A political event thousands of miles away can send ripples through global markets in minutes. Honestly, these disruptions, they're the new normal. And on top of all that, we've got this incredible acceleration of technology. Innovations that used to take decades are now happening in just a few years, sometimes even months. That pace forces every single one of us to constantly learn, unlearn, and relearn just to keep our heads above water.
So that really brings us to the million-dollar question, right? When the ground is constantly shifting beneath your feet, how can any organization, any company, any team build something stable and lasting? How do you even begin to plan for a future that you can't possibly predict?
Well, it turns out the answer isn't about being more rigid or doubling down. It's about being more adaptable. And there's this really powerful framework for it called multidimensional flexibility. Now, this isn't just some corporate buzzword. It's a genuine strategic approach for building resilience and, get this, actually creating opportunities for growth, even in the middle of chaos. So what is this thing exactly? The best way to think of it is like a master toolkit for adaptation. It's this super comprehensive framework that looks at an entire system, from its high-level strategy all the way down to its daily operations and the tech it uses, and it asks one simple question. How can we make every single part of this more responsive to change?
And why does it matter? Well, the payoff is huge. Organizations that embrace this don't just survive shocks, they absorb them and bounce back even stronger. They consistently outperform their more rigid competitors, and they build a foundation that supports real innovation for years to come. In today's world, flexibility is strength.
Okay, so what does this flexibility actually look like in practice? It sounds great in theory, but let's take a little tour through its key dimensions. We're going to see how this idea gets applied across an entire organization. Let's kick things off with the supply chain. For decades, a flexible strategy just meant dual sourcing. Simply having a backup supplier just in case. But today, AI sourcing takes this to a whole new level. It uses artificial intelligence to predict things like port delays or customs risks before they even happen, and then it reroutes shipments in real time. It's a perfect example of how this idea is evolving. Now let's jump down to operations on the ground. Here, agility can be as simple as an HVAC system that automatically adjusts to energy demand, or as complex as a factory floor using the Internet of Things, or IoT, to connect robotics and cloud analytics, allowing the entire production line to pivot on a dime. This is where tech and operations really meet to create resilience.
Financial flexibility might sound a little abstract, right? But it's becoming incredibly concrete. New quantitative models, built on deep analysis of the entire value chain, are helping organizations make way smarter financial decisions. This lets them optimize where they put their money and invest wisely, even when the future is a total question mark.
And this leads us to what might be the most important dimension of all: people. An organization is truly only as flexible as its workforce. This means having people with diverse skills who can step up in a crisis, having the behavioral willingness to actually adapt when things change suddenly, and having flexible work practices that can evolve with new demands. Okay, so we've seen the different dimensions: supply chain, operations, finance, people. But how do you actually put this all to work? It's not just about having these tools in your toolbox. It's about choosing how and when to use them. So let's look at the strategic choices involved. Fundamentally, it boils down to two stances you can take. Proactive flexibility is all about anticipating change and acting before a disruption hits. Then you have reactive flexibility, which is about having the systems in place to respond quickly and effectively when the unexpected happens. And here's the key. The most successful organizations don't choose one or the other. They get really, really good at both.
So looking ahead, technology is obviously the great enabler here.
We're already seeing digital platforms create flexible energy markets and machine learning making workplaces safer. But the ultimate goal, the holy grail, is to weave technology, people, and systems together so seamlessly that the entire organization acts like a single adaptive organism.
And that brings us right back to the core idea. At the end of the day, it's all about this one simple but really profound truth. Flexibility isn't just another strategy, it's the fundamental capability that allows any system, from a single person to a huge global corporation, to adapt and thrive when things get uncertain.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. In a future that we know is going to be defined by constant change, could mastering this kind of deep, multidimensional flexibility be the one thing that truly separates those who succeed from those who get left behind?